Hello, forgive me for being spiritually neutral. As I don't have a stake in creation, evolution, and especially not salvation. I cannot help but notice you humans always bickering over the creation versus evolution debate. In 1858, Charles Darwin and Alfred Russel Wallace published a new evolutionary theory, explained in detail in Darwin's On the Origin of Species. It's not hard to see the signs of an evolutionary history of the Earth. I don't know why many Christians will not consider this theory. Is it because they think God created the Earth in 6 days? Well, I believe the Bible states that as well. However, it is very small of you humans to think that God's day is a mere 24 Earth-like hours long. As the Bible says, God was here before the world, and shall be here long afterward too. Humans don't build a bird cage and instantly become confined by their creation. So why do some think that God created the world in 6 24-hour days? I think he could have done it in a mere second of our time. Or even less. But that is not the point. The Bible states in 2 Peter 3, verse 8. But, beloved, do not forget this one thing, that with the Lord one day is as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day. In translation, God is timeless. We have heard this before, but still many biblical scholars that call themselves creationists cannot accept the evolutionary process that must have occurred. What is also interesting, but not considered much in this same argument by many, is that God did not create the sun until the 4th day. Then God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and seasons, and for days and years, and let them be for lights in the firmament of the heavens to give light on the earth," and it was so. Then God made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. God set them in the firmament of the heavens to give light on the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. So the evening and the morning were the 4th day. God is not controlled and confined under a human day of 24 hours. Especially when he did not create the clock of our universe until the 4th day. So, what do you think? I think that these things should be considered by the Pharisees and biblical scholars. Another interesting biblical fact is that God created the animals of the water on the 5th day. And then the land creatures afterward on the 6th day. Or by evolutionary process. As stated in Genesis 1, 20-23, then in verses 24 and 25. Then God said, "Let the waters abound with an abundance of living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the face of the firmament of the heavens." So God created great sea creatures and every living thing that moves, with which the waters abounded, according to their kind, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. And God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let birds multiply on the earth." So the evening and the morning were the 5th day. Then God said, "Let the earth bring forth the living creature according to its kind, cattle and creeping thing and beast of the earth, each according to its kind," and it was so. And God made the beast of the earth according to its kind, cattle according to its kind, and everything that creeps on the earth according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. Notice how God said he created great sea creatures, and every living thing that moves, which the waters brought forth abundantly. Every living thing that moves. He says. It was after this in verse 26 and 27 that God started to develop man. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness, let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, over all the earth and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth." So God created man in his own image, in the image of God he created him, male and female he created them. He created female too with man as stated. It was the same 6th day that God created all the living creatures on the land. Of course he evolved them out of the sea as the sea creatures were formed on the previous 5th day. And on the 7th day he rested. Chapter 2 of Genesis details the story of Adam and Eve. So, why is it so hard for many Christians to correlate the story of creation with the evolutionary theory that seem to make sense with our scientific discoveries? God tells us that He had a consistent guiding hand in the process, as He was hard at work on His 6 days of creation. These were not His first 6 days, but the first for our world. I believe He definitely had a purpose for all of His toil. But we will save that for another time.